No stopwatch. No starting gun. No spikes, no lanes, no world records. Just silence, dust, and the pounding of bare feet on sun-baked earth. More than 2,700 years ago, in ancient Greece, a single race decided who would become the most famous athlete in the known world. Not for a year, not for a season. For life. This is the story of the original 100-meter sprint, the race that created legends before history learned how to write them down. The hook, one race to rule them all. If you won the modern Olympic 100 meters, you'd get fame, endorsements, and headlines. If you won the ancient Greek sprint, they tore down part of your city wall to honor you. Because a city that produced the fastest man alive, they believed, would never need defenses. That's how powerful this race was. The birth of speed, the Stadion race. The ancient Olympics began in 776 BCE, and for the first 50 years, there was only one event. One, the Stadion. It was a straight sprint, about 192 meters long, roughly the length of a modern track straight, slightly longer than today's 100 meters. And it wasn't just a race. It was the Olympics. The winner's name became the way Greeks measured time itself. Years weren't counted as dates. They were remembered as the year Coroebus won the Stadion. Coroebus was a simple cook from Eli's. After one sprint, he became immortal. No second chances, no technology, no mercy. Ancient sprinters trained without science, without coaches, without protein shakes or recovery tools. They trained with hills, sand, stones, pain. They ran barefoot, completely naked, because clothing was believed to slow the body and offend the gods of athletic perfection. There were no starting blocks. Athletes crouched behind stone grooves carved into the ground, the balbus waiting for the signal. Not a gun. A judge. The judge raised his arm and dropped it. False start. There was no warning. Officials carried whips. If you jumped early, you were beaten in front of everyone. The finish line wasn't tape, it was fate. There was no ribbon to break. No photo finish. The finish line was often a rope or marker, judged by the naked eye of officials whose word was final. Ties were rare, not because athletes weren't close, but because the gods were believed to choose only one. To argue the result was to insult Zeus himself. And Zeus was watching. The Olympic Games were held in Olympia, directly beside the massive temple of Zeus, home to one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Athletes didn't race for medals. They raced under the eyes of gods. Victory meant everything. The prize, a simple olive wreath. That's it. No gold, no silver, no money. But don't be fooled. When the winner returned home, cities rewarded them with free meals for life, front row seats at festivals, political influence, poems written in their honor, statues carved in their likeness. Some sprinters became so famous that philosophers and generals quoted them. Speed was power. Speed was proof of divine favor. The sprinter who ran like the wind. One ancient legend tells of a sprinter so fast that spectators claimed dust rose before his feet touched the ground. Another was said to outrun horses over short distances. Whether exaggerated or not, one thing is clear. Sprinting was considered the purest athletic test. No strength tools. No endurance tricks. Just explosive human potential. It was believed that if the gods ever needed a messenger, they would choose an Olympic sprinter. The dark side of glory. But not every story ended in triumph. Some athletes trained their entire lives for a single race and lost by a breath. And unlike today, second place meant nothing. No silver medal. No recognition. No history. Many returned home in silence, carrying shame that followed them forever. In ancient Greece, excellence wasn't about participation. It was about winning or being forgotten. Cheating, curses, and the price of dishonor. Yes, even then, athletes tried to cheat. Some bribed rivals. Some paid judges. Some used forbidden methods. When caught, they were fined heavily, and the money was used to build bronze statues of Zeus, called Zanes, placed at the entrance of the stadium. Each statue carried the name of the cheater. Every athlete walked past them before racing. A warning. Cheat, and your shame becomes eternal. The true winner. The ancient Greek 100-meter sprint wasn't about numbers. There was no fastest time in history. Only one question mattered. Who was fastest when it counted? No replays, no appeals, no excuses. Just one explosive run and destiny. Why this race still matters today. When modern sprinters explode from the blocks, when the world holds its breath for 9.58 seconds, they are echoing something ancient. Something primal. That moment when human speed challenges time itself. The ancient Greeks understood something we often forget. Speed is not just athletic. It's symbolic. It's the raw expression of life, pushing forward as fast as it can. Final thought, perfect YouTube outro. So the next time you watch a 100-meter sprint, remember this. You are not watching a modern invention. You are watching a tradition older than empires. A race once run barefoot, under the sun, judged by gods, where a single heartbeat separated immortality from oblivion. The fastest man alive didn't just win. He became history. And somewhere in the dust of Olympia, his footsteps are still there,